Welcome to Scholastic IQ, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host, Ethan Neer, and we have another great quarters finals matchup in store for you today. So let's introduce our teams. On the bottom, we have the almost hometown heroes, Marion, with Ian, Caden, Braden, and Samuel. And on the top, we have Metro East with Josh, Harry, Mary, and Silas. Now, before we get into our questions, let's just do a quick recap of the rules. We'll start off with some toss-up questions. Each of those will be worth 10 points. If a team gets it right, they move on to a bonus question, which is worth 20 and can be stolen for 10. You guys can interrupt me at any time, but if you interrupt me and get a question wrong, it is 5 points for the other team. So if you're gonna interrupt me, just make sure that you're right. All right, we all ready to get into the questions? All right. For the first toss-up, what theory, which predicts length contraction and time dilation, was formulated by Albert Einstein in 1905? Josh.
Special relativity.
Special relativity is correct. Well done.
Nice.
For your bonus, what left-wing politician served as Franklin Roosevelt's second vice president and ran as the Progressive Party nominee for president in 1948?
Wait. Is it Truman or Dewey?
Truman.
Truman is incorrect. Marion, a chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer you're looking for was Henry A. Wallace. Henry A. Wallace. On your next toss-up, what woman who was forced to marry Toussaint Charbonneau showed the bondsman pass to the corpse of Discovery as a guide for Lewis and Clark? Samuel.
Sacagawea?
Sacagawea is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in September 2022, a coalition led by what far-right female politician won Italy's parliamentary elections?
Oh, I don't know her name.
No answer.
Metro East, a chance to steal.
It's from descended from Mussolini or whatever.
No, that's someone else.
Is it?
Unitary, I don't know.
Nothing.
The answer you're looking for there was Meloni. Meloni. On your next question, what film, whose frame story involves fortune teller Professor Marvel and Nasty Miss Gulch, stars Judy Garland as a girl who sings over the rainbow? Harry.
Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the so-called 4 books of Chinese thought include what text that compiles sayings by Confucius and his followers?
The Analects.
The Analects is correct. Well done. On to the next toss of what building constructed over the former lake of the Domus Aurea features 3 tiers of superposed columns and was Rome's largest amphitheater? Silas.
The Colosseum.
The Colosseum is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what peptide hormone produced by alpha cells in the pancreas opposes the effect of insulin, causing blood sugar levels to rise?
Ghrelin.
That is incorrect. Marion, a chance to steal. You guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for was glucagon, or glucagon, excuse me. And for your next question, pencil and paper ready. What integer equals 28% of 50, given that it is also equal to
14.
14 is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Central Asian country has been led by dictators Gurbanguly, Burmahamedov, and Sarmurat Niyazov?
Turkmenistan.
Turkmenistan is correct. Well done. For your next toss-up, what city whose Cardinal Zen was arrested in 2022 under a 2020 national security law is like Macau, a special administrative region of China?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong is correct. For your bonus, what Arabic term refers to one of the 114 chapters of the Quran, such as the Kal and Al-Fitah, or the opening?
Surah.
The surah is correct. For your next toss-up, what author described a boy pursued by a supernatural being in The Earl King and wrote about the demon Silas?
Faust.
Faust is incorrect. And wrote about the demon Mephistopheles in the 1808...
Goethe?
Goethe is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what sea that is north of Iran and east of Azerbaijan is the world's largest inland body of water?
Caspian Sea.
Caspian Sea is correct. Well done. On to the next question. In the Battle of Flamborough Head, what captain commanded the Bonhomme Richard and said, "I have not yet begun to fight"? Samuel.
John Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what programming language often used for statistics and data analysts contains ggplot2 in its tidyverse set of packages and has a one-letter name? I'm sorry, you guys are all out of time. Metro East?
C.
C is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was R. R. On to the next question. What singer included the songs Keep Driving and Music for a Sushi Restaurant on a
Harry
silence?
Styles.
Harry Styles is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 1919, what American-born conservative became the first woman to be seated in the British House of Commons as a member of Parliament?
No answer.
No answer. Marion, a chance to steal.
Thatcher.
Thatcher is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Nancy Astor. Nancy Astor. On to the next question. What process, which sometimes utilizes PEP carboxylase in its carbon fixation stage, uses the Calvin cycle to synthesize sugars in plants? Caden.
Chloroplast.
Chloroplast is incorrect. Silas.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what author won a Newbery Medal for her 2019 novel about a Cuban-American girl attending Seaward Pines Academy, Mercy Suarez Changes Years?
Lahiri.
That is incorrect. Marion, a chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer you're looking for there was Meg Medina. Meg Medina. And that'll take us to our first media question. This two-time Caden.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard is correct. Well done. And since that was a media question, there is no bonus. So we'll just take it back to toss-ups. What state, which is home to the Fossil Butte and Devil's Towers monuments, is Josh?
South Dakota.
South Dakota is incorrect. And Devil's Towers National Monuments is the least populous state and includes the city of Cheyenne. Ian.
Wyoming.
Wyoming is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what law states that entropy of a perfect crystal reaches its minimum value of 0 when the temperature is absolute 0?
Pass.
Pass. Metro East.
Kelvin's law.
That is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was the third law of thermodynamics. On to the next question. What holiday, which honors the defeat of Charles de Lorentz at the 1862 Battle of Puebla, has become Samuel?
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2022, Yvon Chouinard, the founder of what outdoor clothing retailer, donated his ownership of the company to a trust to fight climate change?
Patagonia.
Patagonia is correct. Well done. On to the next toss-up. What 9-letter term from the Greek for falling off provides the scientific name for baby teeth as well as trees that shed leaves in autumn? Silas.
Deciduous.
Deciduous is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what term for using acid to clean metal surfaces also names a technique of preserving vegetables in a brine or vinegar solution?
Pickling.
Pickling is correct. Well done. Josh, very adamant that the answer was pickling to that question. And that'll take us to another toss-up. In what sport whose women's event was won by Eve Moyhead's team at Beijing 2022 do players guide stones towards a target on ice? Silas.
Curling.
Curling is correct. Well done. Canada's other pastime besides hockey. For your bonus, what word can refer to a genre of Cuban songs, a Spanish dance in 3/4 time, or a 1928 piece dominated by an ostinato motif?
It's bolero.
Bolero is correct. Well done. On to the next toss-up. Glass electrodes are most often used to measure what quantity, stabilized by buffers that measure a solution's Silas?
pH.
pH is correct. For your bonus, in what phase change used with some dyes does a substance move directly from a solid to a gas?
Yeah, sublimation.
Sublimation is correct. Well done. On to the next toss-up. What battle ended after Operation Uranus caused Frederic Paulus to surrender to Georgy Zhukov and was a Nazi siege? Josh.
Stalingrad.
Battle of Stalingrad is correct. Well done. For For your bonus, Mark Felt was the real identity of what anonymous high-ranking source who fed information to the Washington Post during the Watergate scandal?
Nothing.
No answer. Marion, the chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer you're looking for there was a deep throat. Deep throat. Brayden gave me a weird look after I said that question. And on to our next toss-up. What politician who John Boehner called Lucifer in the flesh went to Cancun during a 2021 power crisis? Brayden?
Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz, that's correct. For your bonus, what author described a yellow frog that rubs its back upon the window panes in a 1915 poem that also asks, "Do I dare to eat a peach?"
William Carlos Williams.
William Carlos Williams is incorrect. That's your
Eliot.
It's a steal. Eliot is correct. T.S. Eliot. Well done. For your next toss-up, what compound produced by archaea in the gut of termites and cows is a greenhouse gas about 30 times more potent? Silas.
Methane.
Methane is correct. Well done. For your bonus, pencil and paper ready. What is the least common multiple of the two numbers 12 and 31, given that 31 is a prime number?
Yeah, 372.
372 is correct. Well done. I'll take us to the next toss-up. What man whom Joseph Welch asked if he had, quote, no sense of decency? Josh.
Joseph McCarthy.
Joseph McCarthy is correct. Well done.
Nice.
For your bonus, the aria Una Belle Di is sung by Giacomo Pucci, opera in which Coco-san devoutly waits for the return of American naval officer Pinkerton.
Madam Butterfly.
Madam Butterfly is correct. Well done. And that will take us to our lightning round. The way our lightning round works is each team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a certain topic. Now, Marion, since you guys are trailing in this one, you will have the first pick of the topics. Your choices are history of electromagnetism, Greek mythological monster slayers, sports venues, and world currencies.
World currencies.
I'm kind of surprised the team wearing baseball jerseys didn't pick sports venues, but world currencies it is. I will count you down. You have to identify the official currency of these countries. You have 60 seconds on the clock. I will count you down. 3, 2, 1. United Kingdom.
Pound.
That's correct. Japan.
Yen.
That's correct. Brazil.
Peso.
That's incorrect. Switzerland.
Franc.
That's correct. India.
Rupee.
That's correct. Turkey.
Lira.
That's correct. China.
Dong.
That's incorrect. South Africa.
Pass.
South Korea.
Pass.
Poland.
Euro.
That's incorrect. South Africa.
Pass again.
South Korea.
Yen.
Yen is incorrect. South Africa.
Shilling.
That is incorrect. So we'll go over the ones that you guys missed on that. The answer to Brazil was real. The answer to China was yuan. The answer to South Africa was rand. The answer to South Korea was won with a W. And the answer to Poland was zloty. Well done, Marion. And that now take us to Metro East. It's your turn. Your choices are history of electromagnetism, Greek mythological monster slayers, or sports venues.
We'll take Greek mythological monsters.
Greek mythological monster slayers. It is. Which mythological figure killed ... I will give you 60 seconds on the clock and count you down. 3, 2, 1. The Nemean lion and the Lernaean
Hercules.
Hercules is correct. Hercules is correct. The Minotaur.
Theseus.
That's correct. Medusa.
Perseus.
That's correct. Chimera.
Bellerophon.
That's correct. The Sphinx who threw herself over the wall of Thebes.
Oedipus.
Oedipus is correct. The Caledonian boar after it was wounded by Atalanta.
Pass.
The serpent python.
Apollo.
That's correct. Campe, the Dracania, and Guarding Tartarus.
Pass.
The many-eyed giant Argus Panoptes.
Hermes.
That's correct. Talos, a bronze automaton on Crete.
Jason.
That's incorrect. The Caledonian bore after it was wounded by Atalanta.
Polynipus.
That is incorrect. Campe, the Dracania, guarding Tartarus.
Zeus.
That's correct. Well done. Buzzer beater there. Securing that last question. The Caledonian boar after it was wounded by Atalanta was Meleager. And the Talos, a bronze automaton on Crete, was killed by Medea. So I think you guys got the rest of them correct. So well done there, going 8 out of 10. And we'll take a look at our score after the lightning round. We have Marion with 170 and Metro East with 380. So Metro East got a pretty solid lead here, but no reason you guys can't come back in the second half, Marion. We'll take us back to the toss-ups. What composer of the jazz standards Groovin' High and Salt Peanuts was known for playing with puffed out cheeks on a trumpet? Silas.
Gillespie.
Dizzy Gillespie is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what author of the novel No Country for Old Men also wrote about the extremely violent Glangton gang in his Western novel Blood Meridian?
McCarthy.
Cormac McCarthy is correct. Well done. For the next toss-up, what region in which orbital resonances cleared the Kirkwood gaps lies about 2 to 4 AU from the Sun between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter? Caden.
Asteroid belt.
Asteroid belt's correct. Well done. For your bonus, what businessman and 2020 Democratic presidential candidate co-founded the centrist Forward Party in 2022?
Andrew Yang.
The Yang Gang is correct. Well done. For the next toss-up, what beings in Greek myth who included Hyperion and the great river Silas?
Titans.
Titans is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Anacapa, Santa Cruz, and Catalina are islands in what archipelago off the coast of Southern California?
Baja, California.
That is incorrect, Marion.
Channel Islands.
The Channel Islands is correct. Well done, Samuel. For the next toss-up, what literary works which describes the drought of March being ended by April rains and which portrays many pilgrims was written by Geoffrey Marion?
The Canterbury Tales.
Canterbury Tales is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Henry Morgan, a 17th British privateer who plundered Spanish ships shipping in the Caribbean, operated out of Port Royal in what island colony?
Jamaica.
Jamaica is correct. Someone clearly watched Pirates of the Caribbean. Well done. And for your next toss-up, pencil and paper ready. What is the first term of a geometric sequence whose second term is 12 and whose third term is 24? Silas.
6.
6 is correct. Well done. Yes. For your bonus, what co-founder of Ireland's Abbey Theatre wrote the 1920 plays Juno and the Peacock, The Shadow of a Gunman, and The Plough and the Stars?
Wilder.
Wilder is incorrect. Marion, chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer you're looking for was Sean O'Casey. Sean O'Casey. For the next toss-up, the film Live in Real Life depicts what man who was attacked at the Hollywood Bowl in 2022 and whose special The Closer includes transphobic jokes? Brandon.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what disputed territory, a part of which forms the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, is home to the city of Laayoune and lies southwest of Morocco?
Western Sahara.
Western Sahara is correct. Well done. For your next toss-up, in what present-day country were Jan Hus preached early? Samuel.
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what man who used the pseudonym Raymond Sneed was seen fleeing from the Lorraine Motel on April 4th, 1968 after shooting Martin Luther King?
James Earl Ray.
James Earl Ray is correct. Well done. For your next toss-up, what term the D in the insurance agency FDIC may refer to a... Josh.
Department.
Department is incorrect. May refer to a payment made by renters for security against damages and is the opposite of withdrawal. Caden.
Deposit.
Deposit is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what social science has a four-field approach that trains students in archaeology, linguistics, and its physical and cultural branches?
Anthropology.
Anthropology is correct. Well done, Ian. On to the next toss-up. What animals, which Seymour says can be trapped in a hole on a Florida beach, partly title a J.D. Salinger short story set on a perfect Silas?
Fish.
That is incorrect. Partly title a J.D. Salinger short story set on a perfect day for them. The answer we're looking for wasn't just fish, but banana fish. Yeah, that's correct. I'll take us to another toss-up. Magnetars are an example of once-dense bodies that are about 20 kilometers across, are produced by some supernovas, and are named for a particle. Silas.
Neutron stars.
Neutron stars is correct. Well done. For your bonus, plutonium belongs to what set of elements with partially filed 5F subshells that lie at the bottom of the periodic table?
Actinides.
Actinides is correct. Well done. On to the next question. What body of water that flows south of Punta Arenas separates Tierra de Fuego from mainland
Strait of Magellan.
Strait of Magellan is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what British author who died in 2022 depicted the court of Henry VIII in her Booker Prize-winning novels Bring Up the Bodies and Wolf Hall?
Nothing.
Marion, a chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer you're looking for was Hilary Mary Mantel. Hilary Mary Mantel. For your next question, what book in which gossip app creator Simon has detention with Bronwyn is a mystery by Karen M. McManus about students not all of whom are honest? Sorry, you guys are all out of time. The answer we're looking for was One of Us is Lying. One of Us is Lying. For the next toss-up, what man who was married to a fellow artist, Lee Krasner, used action and drip painting? Silas.
Pollock.
Jackson Pollock is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what prime minister, the author of Talks with Bruno and The Cardinal's Mistress, was shot alongside his mistress, Clara Petici, near Guglielmo in 1945?
Mussolini.
Benito Mussolini is correct. Well done. I'm getting the sense that was a complete guess, but never hurts to guess. Well done. For your next question, what process which an unreplicated 1989 report claimed could occur at low temperatures involves light nuclei? Silas.
Fusion.
Nuclear fusion is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Austrian physicist names an equation that states that the Hamiltonian of the wave function equals the energy eigenvalue times the wave function?
Schrodinger.
Schrodinger is correct. Well done. On to the next toss-up. What voivode of Wallachia, who died in battle with Ottomans in 1477, was called Tepish? Samuel.
Vlad the Third.
Vlad III or Vlad the Impaler is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what queen of Ethiopia, the wife of Cepheus, foolishly boasted that she and her daughter Andromeda were more beautiful than Nereids?
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia is correct. Hold on. On to your next question. What synonym for two is the last name of Canadian singer of Any Man of Mine, whose first name is Shania, and the pen name of Samuel Cable?
Twain.
Shania Twain. Well done. For your bonus, the town of Salem is home to the Bradys on what soap opera, which aired on NBC for 57 years before moving to Peacock streaming service in 2022?
The Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives is correct. Well done. For your next question, what play in which the player declares we're actors, we're the opposite of people, is by Tom Stoppard and follows two side characters from Hamlet? Silas.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
That is correct. Well done. For your bonus, about half of all U.S. deaths from hurricanes are caused by what phenomenon? A wind-driven increase in water heights above normal tidal levels?
Storm surge.
Storm surge is correct. Well done. And that bell means we are all out of time on today's show, so let's take a look at our scores. On the top, we have Metro East with 590 and Marion with 370. So Metro East not letting control after that strong bonus round. Well done to you guys. So for all of our lovely contestants here today and the people working hard behind the scenes, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much and good night.